Let's take a look.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes on this.
We're achieving clairvoyance, my friends. Let us begin.
What's the debuff counter saying, chat? What was the latest one? Was it like 14, 15?
We gotta be in the.
I
Surely,
think I lost track because of Piccolo. Piccolo made me distracted.
surely we're in the 20s now.
We're currently at 22. Thank you, Prince Kasai. Let's go. Do you?
Quick question: does the Zamasu dash cancel work on
We're
Myth?
currently at 22. Thank
Or is
you,
it
Prince
only
Kasai.
if the blade beam makes contact?
Let's go. Do you think we
Looks
reach
like it's on Whiff too.
22? Thank you, Prince
I
Kasai.
think he does it before it makes
Let's
contact
go.
here. Okay, yeah, so you can do it on
Do
Myth.
it.
20s
Cool.
now.
I
Surely,
think I lost track because of Piccolo. Piccolo made me distracted.
surely we're in the 20s now.
We're currently at 22. Thank you, Prince Kasai. Let's go. Do you think we reach 50 today, Karen?
So
Potentially
Yeah?
here's the idea.
in the 20s now.
currently at
When you're
22.
playing
Thank
against
you, Prince
Zamasu,
Kasai.
there's a few different
go.
things you have to do differently. Especially one that like, cause Zane is like super lame and he doesn't ever want to engage with his opponent. And so where he has the most trouble are people that find creative angles of approach to pressure him and kind of break up the monotony of him just doing flight blade beam over and over again. The best way to do that for most characters is going to be, especially for Nitro who's playing 21, is just the
do you
counter
think we
call.
reach 50
So should
today?
do dash block, call 21. The blade beam and the assist should full clash. And then depending on whether he dash forward or backwards, you kind of make a decision from there. You could SD, you could tackle, you could 2H him if he tries to like dash forward and like autopilot pressure. There's like a few different answers, but unfamiliarity plays a part in, you know, slower decision makings. Like I don't think he's played as Zam like this before,
Potentially.
Yeah?
and so like it's gonna be awkward for him for a while
me know,
until
chat.
he like really pieces together.
All
Today
right.
or not?
Really pieces together where he wants to be on the screen. Like you can see like in this opening gambit, he's like really uncomfortable where he wants to be on the screen. He doesn't know where he wants to be. And when you don't know where you want to be in Dragon Ball Fighters, you can't win. You just never know. Because like your whole goal in neutral is to put yourself in a space that's comfortable. If you don't know where you're comfortable, then you'll just never win neutral. And so like there's like dead zones, right? And so from full screen, like most of the time it's going to be Zam doing blade beam and you're just like kind of here. Okay, that might not be the place that you want to be. So you call 21 and you run behind it. This is why it's important to move behind your assist. You can see how Nitro's running at the bottom of the screen. He's running behind his assist right now because he knows if he runs behind it, then he's pretty much safe from everything. However, what you do need to be careful about is when you breach into this mid-range, Zane is also a Beerus player, so he likes to mash Beerus A here. And so like where you're gonna get a lot of mileage is like faking an approach, making him think that you're gonna like just like extend into you, and then just like burning your double jump to avoid Beerus assists with like double jump backwards, or you can go over top of it as well. Or you could go like even higher and like SD from the top where he doesn't have time to like press blade, because 21 lab code assist only covers the ground, so you don't have to worry about that whenever you actually take to the skies. So like here, right, this is not a horrible approach from him, but he needs to make his decision faster. So like what would have been better here is him just pressing JM and going for a staircase to the ground because he has an assist available as well. Him going for EX is just really greedy. You give him too much time, right? You give him too much time to think. And like that's Zane's whole game plan. He wants to give himself more time to think about the situation by creating more space on the screen. It takes you longer to get in, and you just get like mental fatigue. Like you're being kept out for so long that people just usually decide to choose YOLO moves to try to like just break up his game plan, and that's like where he wins a lot of games. And so like you want to be really careful to not overextend, but like when Nitro got this opportunity, he didn't have to wait this long. So like he double jumps, and this is all uncertainty, right? You can just if you want to EX, you can just EX here, but like what would have been better is just like pressing a falling JM, because even if he manages to get the dash in time, which he wouldn't have because it would have taken less time, but even if he does, you still have an assist. Just in case he like decides to like do dash into super dash or something crazy just to like get pressure started. But like you don't have to worry about his assist at this point, so it makes your job a lot easier when we're talking about like trying to just find lockdown. So this in this situation, this is important. This is important because when you're in a situation where Blade Beam does not make contact is where you're gonna get a ton of your big punishes. So he does flight, he does 2 to success. You know, because he's not on the ground, like he's not at ground level here. So you know at this height it's not gonna make contact, and you should know this if you're gonna play against Zamasu in this matchup. This does not make contact. Like it might look like it might, because like, you know, this animation looks like it reaches pretty low, but there's no hitbox down here. And so it just goes over your head, right? And like if he dashes forward like this is really bad for him. This is really bad for him. You're liable to get anti-aired, air-to-aired, and what would actually be like the best option for him is to just press super dash here, because you would get through the initial Beerus orbs if he decides to mash it after the dash in. Usually he doesn't do that, but like it is an option that he has, so like probably SD would be the best, or even if you have meter you could EX here, which would be good. You'd get behind the Beerus assist, and you would get behind 21 assist if he mashes it as well, but he doesn't have meter here, and so he didn't have that option, but it is something to consider. He tries the IED in the mid-range and gets super dash himself. This is actually something that Zane does a lot. He loves to burn SD in the mid-range after double jump is expended, and so like you should really look for things like this, especially like it wasn't smart for Nitro to like overextend like this when he's in the mid-range. Like he has no assist to back him up, so like IEDing is like really dangerous to do in this position, especially when you have no resources. You don't have an assist, you don't have any meter either, and so like you have no contingency plan if something goes wrong. So he chooses air dash, he gets super dashed, and like funnily enough, like it's not that horrible. This is not like that horrible a situation. Like yes, you get debuffed, but you're no longer dealing with the Zam matchup, which is the matchup gap in his mind. Like that's a matchup he's uncomfortable with. And so like now you don't have to deal with it because he tagged into the lab code to debuff you. And so like now you can actually like do regular Dragon Ball stuff that you're used to doing.
See it once again. How many did you say?
So he has no assist to back up this Oki, so delay wake up is really strong here.
Well, there's an extra one, bro.
Yep. And so like even if he still gets pressure, right, you can see he chooses delay wake up, and this is where a lot of people fucked up against lab code, is after or post debuff they wouldn't delay wake up and they would let her get this JH meaty, right? So he delay wake ups, and now it's a guess on his part because he doesn't have assist. So if you do like IED JH and you call assist, you pretty much cover almost everything, including delay wake up situations, but he doesn't have an assist, so now he's guessing. So while Nitro does not press anything, if he did delay wake up reflect or something like that, then he would end up getting a full punish in this situation. It just makes him think about his offense more often. Do I think players have a better chance of winning tournaments with their own teams or meta teams' current chance? Oh, I mean, meta is meta for a reason, man. Meta is meta because it gives you the best chance to win.
Zane is just like, you know
it's
what,
just,
I am
yeah,
not approaching you.
Just how it works. Plus frames.
Come to me, but man,
so yeah,
like, you know what, I am not approaching you.
It's +3. So like unfortunately backdash in this game is really fucking stupid. So even on +3 situations they can backdash. So if he wants to be really safe, the problem is that like there's a lot of things to look out for. There are a lot of things to look out for here, because if he like presses command grab, if he presses command grab, then you like trying to call out with dash OS or like 2M would not work. But you know, the options that would work against command grab lose the backdash. It's just like, it's just really awkward. It's a really awkward situation to get put in. He could consider he consider doing instant transmission assist, like late call assist here, and like jump, like do instant transmission, late call assist, then jump, and then like you pretty much cover everything at this point. You avoid command grab. He doesn't have time to backdash because the assist will hit him. And you know, you can just like continue pressure from that point. Like wouldn't be a horrible option, but like that's usually something that tends to be a little bit of a layer 2 thing. You wouldn't do that to start off with until you establish that yes, he's backdashing on instant transmission to begin with.
Capture damage for actually hard to land combo. There we go.
You have an assist here this time.
Everyone's favorite mirror.
He waits and spins, that's fine.
Lab code 21 mirror right now, and that's
yeah, it's a little awkward, huh? Sparking situation. So continues pressure with assist, but he jump cancels on block. And because he jump cancels on block, he air blocks sparking, and now he's minus. He tried to wiggle or jump or backdash or something and gets caught.
Right now, and that's going to be the opening.
Because sparking +6 on air block. Don't know why, but here we are.
For Zane.
The spark, so get off me.
23. 23, man. 24!
Yo. Okay, level 3 right now for Zane. Zamasu in his favorite. Spark up from Nitro says get back.
No. So the reason that this happens, I just want to point out the reason that this happens is because he is afraid of Zam doing down tech 2H because it also goes through assists. And so he tries to mediate with Key Blast, but the problem is if he does down tech 2H, it goes through your Key Blast anyway. So this Key Blast is pretty useless. I would still do the Empty Vanish. You could do like Empty Vanish late call assist, Empty Vanish backdash plus assist to punish the 2H if you think he's really gonna do it. But I don't like him sacrificing his Empty Vanish Oki on this Sparking Scramble because like you have more tools now. You have more tools now to deal with Zam because you can't just Empty Vanish on top of him. And like, here's that thing again, right? This is exactly what I was talking about before with this SD in the mid-range. Zane does this a lot. He just wasn't ready. He just stands there. No, he didn't have the confidence to go for spin or an anti-air or an air-to-air of any kind. And like, this would be a decent place to go for it too because he doesn't have Beerus assist to cover him. So you're more worried about that than Lab Coat because Lab Coat's an airborne assist. So if he calls it while SDing and you press spin, they both get cooked. A little bit of oversight there from Nitro. Just too much hesitation. But you know, game one, Nitro's he's not strong in game ones. Like, tends to have a little bit of trouble in game one situations. So I take him a little time to get comfortable with what's going on. He played the post spark reaction, the post spark situation on reaction when they get hit. No. When you're the person that sparks, your opponent's the one that has to react, not you.
Okay, now that
you just spark press Empty Vanish and then you see what they did and you choose your option, but like they're the one that has to respond. They have to react to the sparking situation. You have initiative in that regard.
Goku Blue is in there.
Like you can press the Empty Vanish and then react afterwards and be like, okay, he down tech, I'm gonna avoid that, or he didn't down tech, so now I'm gonna staircase him. But your opponent is the one that has to choose the correct tech option or die.
Beerus and Zamasu, lovely.
Okay. Double tweet. Tarrant, where do you block?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'm gonna say in front again.
Alright,
let's see.
Chat, let me know.
Okay.
Tarrant blocked!
Yeah.
Tarrant's defense kinda out there!
We got.
Yeah, see, this is just bad Oki. Not bad Oki, but like,
my goodness, I don't know. I'm gonna say in front.
if you're ever unsure about like if your opponent is the type to press some shit on your Oki, you should go cross up first. Just because so the problem is that there's a lot of 21s that do improper Oki, and against improper Oki, mashing reflect results in a reflect on either side because it comes out early enough and it auto corrects. But if you do proper Oki, then they legit have to guess left right on which side to reflect, and so they will get counter hit here if they're just guessing that your Oki is wrong and it's good. And so that's why you do cross up first.
Okay. Tarrant blocked!
Yeah.
Tarrant's defense kinda out there!
We got those.
You're so fucking tired of Lab Coat. That shit is scrubby as fuck. Newsflash: Dragonball Fighters is a pretty scrubby game in this patch. Just in general, it's not just Lab Coat.
Nice.
But it is what it is. This actually shouldn't have worked. He got fortunate. Beerus' JL hitbox dice. he got pretty fortunate there. But you know, take the.
What a QH by Nitro.
That was so good. The call out. Now Zane's really got to think about his.
Thank you for the follow, by the way.
Does he go for this similar situation next time? Yeah, that was like the last hit though.
Yeah. Nitro bringing it back. Zamasu
No. Ugh, I hate this tackle. I hate this tackle because you have no air resource left. And so like now you're just kind of left out. You have no double jump or anything left. So Zane could literally do anything here. If you're going to do something like this, I would say probably EX instead. Or just EX without burning your air dash so you still have the resource afterwards. But he's trying to figure it out. I can tell that Nitro's trying to work it through. Like he's trying to work it out in his head. He's like, okay, what the fuck do I do to stop this guy from flying around and shit? Don't know why you would choose.
Of course, quite important for Zane, right? The Zamasu is not debuffed, and
yeah, I don't know why you would J2H. Maybe he guessed that he would get hit, but like This is a really good staircase situation, and you have Android 21 on coming off cooldown. So by the time your staircase is finished and you do a string, then you'll have her for the mix-up afterwards. So this is a missed opportunity on his part. Definitely could have got a 50-50 out of this situation, but them's the breaks.
You want that character to stay not evil. Oh my god,
There you
no
go.
way, you are not damage.
What should you choose here?
You want that character to stay.
Ah, it's the same situation I talked about last time where the blade beam whiffs at that height, and so he was ready to anti-air. It's good adaptation from him.
Oh my god, no way, you are not getting in there, fam.
There we go. You can get some good damage.
No,
No way, you
no.
are not getting in there, fam.
He brain farted because he forgot he had steals in his slots, and so he tried to fix it by just going into dive. He wasn't close enough to the corner though. Damn. Just burn the orb next time. It's way safer.
Sends out the reality stone, sliced up mode. Okay.
We're still waiting. We're taking our time. Not just yet.
Yeah, that man.
Still has air warp.
Old man Nitro with the falling button gets a hit.
Nice.
Yeah, that man.
That's
Zane
actually
with
hilarious.
Old man Nitro with the falling button gets a hit.
Wow. This is actually a really interesting
Yeah, that man.
situation.
Zane's movement.
Because this doesn't happen
Old man
very
Nitro with
often.
the falling
So he
button
gets
a
hit by M-Ball, he down techs, but he actually recovers before he touches the ground. Most of the time when you down tech, this doesn't happen. Most of the time when you down tech, you're gonna be on the ground. And so you get hit grounded. And that's what Nitro was looking for. He was looking for him to down tech and block so he could 5 LDR. But he actually hits him airborne. Zane thought that he would land, but he didn't. And so he got orbs instead of reflect because he's still airborne. And so he gets counter hit on orbs trying to summon and then doesn't tech and gets blue combo.
Oh, okay.
That's just awkward as hell.
Oh, he actually nearly made
Yeah, that was a combo. That was a bombo.
an on-the-fly combo, bro.
Parkour combo with Nitro.
Zane exhibiting a very, very severe weakness to M-Ball and neutral right now.
He's gonna take the Zamasu down.
This is quite important.
Excellent job by the Magic 21.
Also
Zane
something
down
to
that
consider
21.
as a 21 player.
Well, spend the bar.
If you're ever in a situation where he's just doing flight blade beam over and over again, and you have usually like 3 or 4 steals, the EX ball goes through it because it's super property, and so like you can wait for him to charge it up, press EX ball, and the hitbox is enormous. So most of the time it'll clip him, and you can half cancel the recovery into super dash anyway. And so like that's like a fine neutral skip to go for against someone that's just like spamming 2-2 success over and over and over again. And if he doesn't do it and he air blocks, you're plus 36. So like pretty good situation.
Okay,
Either way.
go. Final character for Zane. Nitro looking good this first game of the set. Ooh.
Oh, that sucks, man. He should have had confidence. He knew that you should know that you're gonna hit them here. Because you saw him doing beam. So this should have just been advantage conversion, but he like went to he got too ahead of himself. He like didn't believe. He did warp and then tried to pressure, and then you know tech options are like 20 frames of invul in this game, so
Okay.
that just happens.
That's the hit now.
Get fucked.
Zane with an opportunity to make something happen. Let's just get as much damage as you can. End it with the grab.
What's the number, chat? We're counting.
Too many. Oh, that was cursed. What was that? Grab.
That's pretty funny.
The number, chat. We're counting.
It doesn't happen very often.
Too many. Oh, that
It
was
only
cursed.
happens, by the way, because
What's
the way that Herpbox interactions work in the corner,
number,
the game, the way the game is coded, it doesn't allow for 2 people to be in the corner at once, which makes sense. And so what happens is he presses spin, and usually what happens here is that Lab Coat will correct to your side, like when you're going through the move, she'll turn around, but she doesn't, because the way that dive works is there's a little bit of a pullback before dive goes through, and so he occupies the corner by doing the pullback of dive. Lab Coat does the check to see if he's crossed her up. She realizes that no, this character's still in the corner, so I'm not going to turn around, and so he dives. She stays going the same way and gets hit by the back end, but since she didn't turn around, the last hit doesn't make contact,
counting.
which does not happen very often at all. But it is what it is.
Too many. Oh, that was cursed. What was that?
Too many. Oh.
This was a horrible option from Nitro.
Too
In
many.
the first
Oh, that was
place,
cursed.
he does double jump tag, right? And this is like
What's the number,
really bad
Chad?
resource management here. And this is like
What's the number,
really bad
Chad?
resource management here. He does double jump dive, right? So he's choosing double jump before he chooses his option to get out of the corner, maybe because he thinks he needs to get over top of it and have enough space. But spin is too big to get over in most cases anyway.
Too
He
many.
gets hit, he does it again, he techs, he double jumps, presses tag, right? This is already a really bad situation. He also presses falling key blast. All of this just loses to him pressing 2-1-4-H again. So you would never actually want to choose this option, because the lowest effort option just smokes you here. You lose a whole character for it. So don't do that. Just block if you're in this situation, because you don't have any air trajectory changers anymore, and everything you do here loses to spin. Whether you tackle or key blast or press a button falling, they all lose to spin. You have no air level 3. You will just lose to it. So just give him your turn and you'll be fine.
It is 25 debuffs at the moment. Zane gonna extend as much as he can. Of course, cannot kill just yet. But just going for the level 3.
Yep, it's going to be level 3 here. He said no kill, but going to make Nitro think about his defensive options right now. Went for the grab at level 3! Oh, man. The spirit,
Not a
the
bad
spirit
idea.
of Spain right there coming through.
Wow. Wonder what Zane pressed.
The spirit.
Literally just walk up
Spirit-
meaty to him. You'd be surprised how much simple shit like this works, even at top level play.
There.
He mashed something. Probably debuff.
There we go!
Okay,
Good to him.
that's
Luckily she's banned for
massive.
CEO, so you don't gotta worry about those interactions. See, that's a scrub mentality. That's a scrub mentality, because there's a lot of anti-air and vulnerable moves in this game that you'll run into the same exact situation on, but go crazy.
Dead character.
Yep. Send the man down, and that is 1-0 for Nitro. Excellent play, of course, by the US champion. 1 game away, saving his life in tournament. Zane getting a quick hydration station moment. to try
As
and
of right
cover
now,
it.
it is
Very
cred.
close.
Bro, is that
Yeah,
how
that was
you
very
guys
back and
operate?
forth. The match actually went on very
Whoever
well.
wins the last tournament is the best in the
Even
world.
by,
Is that how it
Lapco
works?
standards, you know how she
Okay.
extends the game and stuff? That
That's
one
what's
went
up.
down to the wire. You know how she extends the game and stuff? That one went down to the wire.
Hmm.
Like Labco standards, you know how she extends
Surely
the game
you
and
realize
stuff?
how foolish
That
that
one went
is,
down to
Smash.
the wire. Yeah, both players know that their opponent.
Oh my god, bro. If there was ever a time to not overextend, it would be here.
Yeah, both.
This is why you lead with your assist on Oki, especially because you have Majin 21 assist coming off cooldown. You don't have to take this risk. Literally just like see that he's delay wake up, doing delay wake up, super jump assist call. You just beat everything here. Like you beat everything.
No.
And like this is like one of those situations where he got the hit with instant transmission and he's like, damn, I'm so happy that I got in, that he kind of trips up with the situation afterwards. But he could have kept himself way safer going for it.
Their opponents are so good.
Did he
at,
guess
like,
on this IT or react?
That one went down to the wire.
It's a guess. He definitely like, he sees him fly and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna try this. He saw him go for flight and he guesses that he's gonna do blade beam. If he didn't do blade beam there though, he wouldn't have gotten the hit. He might have forced a block interaction, but he just guessed that anytime that he goes flight, he's gonna press 2 to success, which isn't the case, but it does. He was right here. So.
Yeah, both players
This is what it
know
is. But this is such a bad miss.
Their opponents are so good at like checking.
This is such a bad miss on his part.
They don't want to take those risks too much, you know.
Man down, yep. 26.
Go to the Zamasu for the damage. And then back to that flight, yes. He's just going to chill.
Oh, that super dash was like Roman cancelled, man.
Oh, wait a minute. He's just going to chill.
Oh, that super dash was like
Overextending,
Roman.
overextending.
Oh, wait a minute.
This is why it's relevant that Shura with the 10 months, thank you. And thank you for the follow as well.
He's just gonna
This is
chill.
why it's relevant when you're picking assists. This is why like
That
assist
super dash was
properties
like
actually
Roman
matter,
cancelled, man.
because he tries to call 21 here. He tries to call Labco and it just doesn't matter. This also matters if you play like Gotenks if you play Gogeta Blue, this situation will come up for you as well because your assists are airborne. They have head property, and so there's no reason for Zane to not press 2H here because your assist also gets 2H'd. And so like this is just an overextension and neutral on his part, and that's one where like different assist properties actually come into play. Worst case scenario is Zam does flight dash and returns to neutral. You never neutral fly against
get the
Goku
conversion.
Blue,
This is
never
massive.
Can he kill her? I don't think.
well, I wouldn't say that's the worst case scenario, but like
Goku will die before, but that's
you,
like
you have a
one
lot of
gets
room to like
80%
switch up what you're gonna do
That's it.
without like overcommitting.
Insane
But that's
season.
not what most Zams are doing.
Beautiful stuff there, Zane.
Like even Zane, who's considered one of the best Zams right now, is just like turning his brain off and pressing flight blade beam over and over and over again. Like he's not. Yeah, it happens.
That situation worked out so well for him, and in this game,
Actually,
beautiful stuff there, Zane.
I really like this choice. I like this choice from Nitro because Zane has been doing he's been doing super dash over the top of these mid ranges. So he presses spin as a contingency plan. This time Zane decides to back off, but not a bad decision from Nitro.
In this game,
And no attempt to punish there from Zane either. I don't know if he could have done anything fast enough. If he did like ID back 2 through success, that would have been nuts. But then you risk getting clipped because the first part is still physical. Yeah, probably best to just give up the opportunity there.
Well for him, and in this game, sometimes
Of course
that
I saw
can be it.
Dwayne
They
on
have
Watson. That's my
birthdays.
guy.
Yes, they happen, but in Dragon Fighters, they can just.
He maybe could have punished, but you don't risk it here. Not with a move like this. Like if you're playing against like if you're playing against Labco, if you're playing against Vegito, right? You don't risk this punish because your punishment is really bad. Like you really explode if you're wrong here. So like I don't mind him not taking this.
In this game, sometimes that can be it. Happy birthdays.
And she also 5M is risky because not risky, but like inconsistent. You could land in 5M, but sometimes you're gonna hit her airborne and drop your combo. Sometimes they're gonna recover in the air before they hit the ground and be able to block. You still would get pressure in those cases, but then you'd have to deal with the sparking scramble afterwards. There's just a lot. There's a lot that goes into that interaction. I'm okay with Zane choosing not to take the risk there.
And with that, your chances of winning. Okay. Buffed over. Okay, making good use of what little life she has. Yeah. You know, she doesn't have much health, but at least she can still do that, you know. Functioning mechanics.
And he tries to play slow. He doesn't have an assist. He bets it. Okay.
Didn't have level 3 though.
It's like okay to test him there when he doesn't have level 3.
Honestly,
I would look for a
he
tag
may
here
be
if I
up,
were
but
him.
He's got a life lead. He doesn't have a reason to challenge a character who has an
They're
invincible
just posturing.
airspeed.
Whole lot of posturing.
You literally just like fly around and let Nitro take the risk.
Exactly.
And that's another thing I feel like we don't see enough on Dragonball, right? Lane play. Lane play is the thing. It's dangerous, but it's the thing.
Well, we've seen how effective it can be.
Well, it depends on your character. If your character has a frame 1 air invulnerable move, then you can bank on reflecting the blade beam, reacting to whether he dashes forward or backwards, and then choosing an option accordingly. Because if you reflect the beam and he does dash forward into mash, frame 1 invulnerable moves will get through, and you'll hit him for it. So, but most of the time, grabs are going to be the ones that are best for it. And they're also not super great against dash backwards. So it's like mostly you need to do everything in your power to not block the slash. If you block the slash, you're cooked. So regardless of whether that's avoiding the slash altogether or reflecting the beam on reaction, you don't want to get caught accidentally blocking the slash in neutral, because then you just eat a 50-50. What you choose to do in response to the slash is going to depend on your characters and their resources, but you don't want to hold the slash if you can help it. Now, sometimes it's just going to happen, but like, yeah, it's the way it is.
Yep, there we go. Zane takes down that Labco, the threat.
Yeah, what happens to you on slash determines the situation afterwards. If you block, you're cooked. You're just done.
No debuff on her yet, so she's going to be dishing out some decent damage.
Lotus made you feel like a scrub if you choose C assists. There's some C assists that are just really strong. Like, can G4 lariat through slash? He can lariat through the beam portion. So the initial slash is physical.
If he's on point now, level 3 can come out. Yeah, dishing out some decent damage here with limit break.
I love this.
So when he does So this part right here, right? This is physical. And then you can see it transitions into a projectile afterwards. See this right here? See how the animation changes? So once it goes into this state, you can lariat it. This is now a projectile, and you can lariat through. But if you try to lariat and you hit this part, then you get smoked. So you have to be careful with how you're choosing your moves that are like projectile invulnerable.
Zamasu's flying like that.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But you need to be careful because, you know, if he's on point, that level 3 can come out. Yeah. Oh, goes low.
It's really like that. You blocking your cook. Well, the problem is like when you block the slash into dash,
You need to be careful because
you're like locked down. You can't do anything to assist at that point. So like if he does 2-3 success and you block it and he does dash forward, then his assist call is guaranteed, and then you have to hold it. Right? That's why it's important to not block the slash. That's why it's so important, because you can't stop the assist call afterwards because you're already in block stun. And so that's why you will avoid the slash first, then you choose your option afterwards, or reflect the slash first, then choose your option. Then you can reflect assist and do stuff like that. But if you block the slash and he has an assist ready, then you're gonna get smoked. Most of the time, unless he fucks up, which happens, but like we don't really want to bank on our opponents making mistakes. Can you reflect and then 2H's ID button? Sometimes, yes. Yeah, but he has an assist, right? That's the problem. The problem is the assist. If he does slash dash forward assist call and you mash 2H, you get full comboed. And so that is a guess, right? But if he does it raw alone, yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. You can do reflect anti-airs. You can do a lot of stuff. But like, you gotta know that he's not gonna call assist.
Oh, wait a second.
That's the problem.
Combo there. Nice tech from Zane. And straight hit. That beam is so scary for -21. Yo!
Zane without the A, and that's all it takes. Speed to win, get the win. Zane's gonna even it up. 1-1.
There is no chance to use that spark on Nitro side, and you know, losing a game with that sparking icon still flashing under your light.
It doesn't matter who's the biggest winner of it. This patch fucking sucks. It doesn't matter.
That hurts.
You get 2 spots in game, right?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Saving it.
I do think that people have severe matchup gaps though, for sure.
Coming up with 2.
Like, I don't think people know how to fight this shit at
You
all.
didn't
Which is why I'm
get to
doing
play.
this.
You didn't get to use your ace in the hole. You know, you didn't get to use your final trump card.
Just gotta dodge it. No, you don't have to dodge it. Sometimes it's better to let him slash you and reflect it. Because like, for example, right here, I'll try to break this down. So like, let's say we're in neutral and he does flight and he does blade beam into dash forward. If I avoid it by doing like super jump or something like that, then he doesn't commit, right? And if he doesn't commit, it's hard for me to punish him. However, if I stay on the ground and I reflect the blade beam, he has to react to me reflecting, which is not gonna happen. You can't react to me reflecting. And so if I do reflect assist call or something like that, I might just catch him on an overextension and be given a free hit. So sometimes it's better to stay on the ground and force an interaction, or let him overextend into you because he assumes you're gonna block, but you actually don't. It's similarly with characters that have like projectile invulnerable like lariats and stuff like that, right? It's better for me to stay on the ground. It's better for me to stay on the ground because he is more likely to blade beam me when I'm on the ground than when I'm in the air, because that's the favorable scenario. And so I'm more likely to just sit and wait for him to do the blade beam and press lariat against it, than, you know, super jump over top of it and then he never presses it because I'm never in the ideal scenario anyway.
It's very standard that in players.
If you reflect slash and he doesn't dash, is he minus enough to punish with key blast?
You know, like you can see the adrenaline.
No, don't think so.
Keep kicking in there. That's very common in players. Like even the very best, even the most experienced, adrenaline is a thing on stage.
Key blasts are pretty slow for stuff like
You
that.
can't teach stage nerves. By the way, Zane's first offline tournament, I'm going to reiterate that, and he is here in top 8 against...
He did the horrible thing again. Bro, I told him... Oh my god, I get so mad. I get so mad. So mad when you choose the incorrect option 4 times in a row in this situation.
Zane's first offline tournament, I'm going to reiterate
What was that? He did the same thing last time where he techs up and then he double jumps and then tries an option to get out of the corner. But bro, it's spin. Like you cannot. You cannot. You cannot. And you know this. You play the character. You know you can't do this, but he does it anyway.
8 against Nitro. Wow.
And you're lucky he didn't have half a bar because that was a dead character. He should have sparked for this, actually.
I'm gonna reiterate that.
Zane is really greedy. He should have sparked to kill this. 100%. 100% should have sparked to kill this character.
Wow. Cursed gaming.
Call the police.
Bro.
Call Krillin.
I'm not having it.
Call the VAR.
Nah.
I hate it here.
Bro.
Send help.
Bro.
Ah,
Nice. Catches them with a frame trap.
send help.
Avoids assist. He blasts. Zane air blocks. Doesn't realize that he air blocks. He's still holding up from the jump before. Gets 2M.
Ah,
Galactic Police Force, bro. Get Jacko on the case.
where's Shaco, man?
Yeah, get him out here.
Get them all, man.
Oh.
We need absolutely everyone.
Problem with this being, if he would have pressed Lariat Spin instead, then that situation plays out entirely differently.
Yo. Margin was
It's
getting
them.
smoked.
Okay.
here we go.
You get debuff for this.
You're gonna be able to fire back with a debuff as his own and potentially switch out lab coat, I imagine.
You should DHC here. Yeah, I agree.
Zamasu in right now. So Zane likes to get the hit, get that debuff on.
What would have been a brilliant option from Nitro, he doesn't choose it here, is actually to just spin here. Because if you spin here, there's a huge chance that he gets clipped by one of the hits. He gets like kind of vacuumed, and it stops him from flying. And there's no real way for him to punish it here either, because he doesn't have level 3. So even if it misses, it's like pretty hard punish with flight controls.
So Zane
Be
likes to get the hit,
pretty
get
funny
that debuff
situation
on,
to happen there.
chill with Zamasu. That's his strategy. You know, he approaches very sparingly
Yeah, so like what Nitro should be doing, especially with back to corner,
with Zamasu.
when his back is to corner here, right?
So that's
Blade Beam comes out. He should reflect, not jump. He jumps. This is where it kind of fucks him over. If he stayed on the ground and reflected, he could just press reflect spin. And Zane has no answers. He has no answers to reflect spin. His team has no answers to reflect spin because you got to keep in mind that lab code assist is airborne. Beerus assist, the first part is a key blast. So he has no answer to reflect spin. If you stay on the ground and reflect, and that's why it's better to stay stationary in some cases than trying to jump and avoid it, getting clipped, and now he's super plus. And he gets a mix, right? If he stayed on the ground and reflects, he checkmates Zane dashing forward altogether. Nothing Zane can do at all to answer reflect spin from that point. So that's why sometimes it's better to just deal with it as opposed to trying to avoid.
This is massive for
It's happy
Nitro.
birthday.
Beerus getting smoked in the back.
Oh my god, yeah, Beerus is absolutely done. Oh no, Beerus got out.
Yeah, happy birthdays suck in this game. It's just, yeah, the cruel reality. It's okay though.
Zane, you need to block this mix.
Yes.
You absolutely need to block
Now,
this.
Zane's gonna spark here. He should.
Oh,
Yeah.
the spark. I respect
I
the
was
hell out of
wondering
that
if
spark.
Nitro would want
Unfortunately, Nitro has pink steals. Nitro has pink steals, so there's not a ton that you can do here. If you had any other steel color, this is a really good situation for 21. But because he has pinks, it's like really hard. It's really hard because warp is just not good enough to answer sparking scrambles. So just really awkward. It's really awkward situation for him. Finds himself a back to corner. Yeah, this is just tough. Okay, Zane, if you watch this analysis, and this is one of my biggest criticisms for you, is that what is wrong with your sparking transition? Your sparking transition needs a lot of work because like this should not be happening this way. So like you beam in, you catch him airborne. This is guaranteed block string. You have Beerus. Why am I not seeing 5H assist call into sparking 50-50? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing resummon orbs just 50-50 him with 5H? Why are you going through this? This is like such slow transition. You could be doing a lot better here. I commented on this during the watch party a few different times. Just run the 50-50, please. Like I know Zam stuff is fun to do, but just take your 50-50. There's no reason to like do all this extra shit.
On this, got to watch out. 6M.
It's like now Nitro gets out, right? He gets out in a situation where he should have taken a 50-50.
There, Zane looking good and flying away, and now you're just gonna play the late game until Beerus is back to being healthy.
That's right. Be chilling.
Okay.
Got him destruction. He's asleep right now, but when he wakes up,
Fine.
Nitro could be.
This is a hit confirm that's really important.
Got him destruction.
You're not used to
He's
this
asleep right
hitting.
now, but when he-
What do you mean 5H 50-50? So when you're in
Nitro was
when you're in sparking, you can jump cancel normals on block. And so like you do a block string. So you see how he's doing a block string? He true strings you into 5H. He jump cancels on block and he calls assist to jail you further. And then you land, you do JH. You do JH on their block. And then your opponent has to guess 50-50 on whether you do JH into air dash forward JL or JH into land 2L. Straight up 50-50. It's the same exact 50-50 as super dash 50-50, except this is a complete jail.
really eager.
And so yeah.
On this, got to watch out. 6M, all the orbs are reflected there. Zane looking good and flying away. And now you're just gonna play the lane game until Beerus is back to being healthy.
That's right. Be chilling. A lot of destruction. He's asleep right now, but when he wakes up, Nitro could be in trouble.
I don't know why the controls popped up.
There we go.
That sucks.
And this is time wasting.
Yeah, Beerus is
There we go.
a healing capsule right now.
Right, Whis couldn't make him up in time.
There we go. That's gonna be the opening. It's gonna be a good amount of damage.
Couldn't make him up in time.
There we go.
What did you do?
A healing capsule.
He did
right
reflect, right? Okay.
Right,
Great.
Whis couldn't make him up in time.
Yeah, still a tough situation to answer there.
Opening is gonna be a good amount of damage as well. Beerus is pretty much recovered. Successful mission by Zane.
No. Please don't uptech Zam like this. Please. Especially because you have time. You have time to see that he flies. Like he knocks you down, right? You see him do flight. The moment he does flight, you don't uptech. Because if you uptech, then you have to take it. You uptech, you have to take the meaty slash. And now this mix is guaranteed, right? This mix is guaranteed because you can no longer reflect. You just have to hold it. Now he blocks, but like you should not put yourself in that situation at all.
That's gonna be the empty low and the guard cancel to get away. Nitro. Good start for him.
Reflect doesn't really do anything against Blades of Judgment. No, it does. It does. You should still mash Reflect there because your opponent, like, it makes the Zamasu player layer their option afterwards because they don't know if I'm going to press Reflect an extra time afterwards for your meaty button, or if you, like, go for a grab or something like that. You don't know if I'm going to do Reflect into hold up or something like that. You can't force that RPS unless you Reflect. If you block, then you just have to take the mix-up. But if you reflect, then you actually have some options that you can use to RPS yourself out in certain situations. And that's why it's still better to reflect. But sometimes you still get hit, because sometimes you're still wrong.
There we go. Oh, bit too far for that one. Here we go, though. Zane gets the hit.
Who would I recommend to watch for high-level hit gameplay? OB Assassin and Wade. Those are the two best hits right now.
Nitro's lab coat. Okay, this is the focus. Zane. Oh, there we go. Nitro realized that.
So, this right here, right? This is matchup inexperience. This is matchup inexperience. This situation right here. The reason being is that Zane actually can't get away with doing this. He actually should not be able to get away with doing this. Because the whatchamacallit? This first part can be spun. Right? It's physical. And so, like, if you press a spin there, it's like pretty awkward for you.
This is the focus. Zane.
Pretty awkward. But he gets a GC, so we're fine here.
And then switches out to that magic.
Okay, just trying to find something. That was actually really slow. Okay, now I commented on this when this happened as well. So this 21's 2H is airborne so early that you can use it as an OS in certain situations by pressing 1H because it will beat grab ID and things like that. Now, I don't think Nitro did this. I think he legit just mashed. I don't think he actually tried to OS him here, but you can use it to OS. And this only works because her 2H goes airborne so early. And so you can see he goes for grab here and it just doesn't work.
Oh my God.
It doesn't work. Because by the time the grab active frame is there, she's already airborne. See how early it goes airborne in the animation? You can't grab her anymore.
Oh my God.
2H on the Dragon Rush.
That was the yellow square tech.
I mean,
that is the yellow square DR tech.
It was preemptive for the flight, perhaps. Yeah. But man, Zane getting 2x out of his DR, bro. That will never happen again.
that is bound to maybe make you lose patience, maybe frustrated.
Right.
Gets away on this, the spin.
Wow,
the trade.
that's so awkward.
Now, it's like we said, these long games, guys.
Wow.
Greedy. Oh my god, bro. For the love of God, this is so greedy from Nitro. Why would you go for a rejump here when you have assist coming off cooldown? Just go into spin, knock down, stomp, extend. The character dies. Why would you take a chance on a rejump here? Oh my god. Come on, man. This is such bad decision making. Please, bro.
Wow.
Oh, the pickup! No conversion there from Zane.
That's so insane that he went for that there.
Pressure against this character. Pressing buttons but stopping due to the backdash. Zane needs to find a way to get one more hit, even it up in characters.
Oh my goodness, IADH.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
But no, I don't think this is dead.
I don't think he's gonna get the meter, is he?
It's gonna be close.
He might actually.
I can't call it.
No, he doesn't. Stomp, does it gain it? No, it doesn't.
Oh my god.
Once again, bro, every time. I don't know what's with Nitro's defensive decision making in this set, but it's quite bad because like every tech situation he's doing up tech, double jump, and then pressing something to try to get out. And every time Zane is just spinning underneath him, which is the right thing to do, is to just spin underneath because you know it beats most things. But I don't know why he was doing that. Maybe nerves. It could just be nerves at that point. It is top 8 at a big tournament, so but it's
very drawn out games between these two. There's a lot of respect.
don't know why you would take that kind of risk.
Straight to Nitro.
Let's go, guys. Of course, don't forget it's 1-1-1 right now. Loser of this goes out the tournament with a 5th place finish. Who will continue to represent their country here in the top 8?
He went same side last
It's
time.
the
See what he
level
does
3
this
now.
time.
Let's see. Nitro behind!
Time he does cross up, yep.
Oh no!
It is gonna land.
Not dead
He's
though.
not, he cannot kill just yet.
Oh
he
god.
can do-
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. I hate this.
Oh no!
You should still take your knockdown here. And so like this is why I like burning EX ball here. It's a ton of damage. And also you free up your steel slots so you can still end in an SKD. You could take the warp back to even warp meaty on their Oki if you really want to. But like letting him soft knockdown, it's a Beerus that has a really ignorant DP on top of that. I don't think you want to take this type of risk. Like guessing on their knockdown situation, especially because like this orb is not that good because him up teching and mashing lab code assist goes through orb because it's key blast properties. So yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens here. Like why would you? It's not that good. It's not that good.
Kill just yet.
Don't do
he got
that.
opening, but Nitro did not believe in the tail enough.
Kill Beerus.
Play some football, Beerus.
Fight.
Was Champions League fight.
It's a good DP. Oh my god, Tyrant, relax.
121 as well.
This is huge. This is huge for Zane. And recovering that. Wait.
Waiting is the battle of the 21 right now. Zane is blocking, and the Dragon Rush is going to open. He
So another thing is that like having your air 2 and 4S slot free against free against like a lot of the top tiers, honestly. Having the air 2 and 4S slot free is really important.
Winnable, Tyrant. It's a one-touch battle.
For neutral and RPS purposes.
Now when it counts.
What did you choose here?
Tyrant, it's a one-touch battle.
JH. Oh, he mashed 2H himself. Yeah, that's you get punished for just straight up guessing there. No reason to guess. What are you guessing for? You lose to a lot of things here. I don't know what he was expecting. Maybe an ID, but like even if Beerus does like just meaty EX here, you get smoked for that too. So like I don't really understand this decision that much. This is a ill-advised guess.
Beerus, you are crazy.
No! Alright, here we go!
What the cheat?
Battle of Gods, let's get it!
I helped you reach that level. Can I beat you now? Can I get it?
Game, I think is over here. Actually,
I helped you reach that level.
Nitro missing a very easy vanish confirm. A very easy vanish confirm. The game is over here, but he misses it.
Can I beat you now?
So we're back to
Can you
neutral
beat me?
again.
Can student beat master?
Whoa,
We
the
play
key
football.
block.
Gets this one.
Nitro gets the hit. This could do it. Level 3.
He's debuffed Tyrant. I think that's enough.
Is it enough?
He cut this
Gets the
combo
hit.
way too short. You know you're debuffed.
Can student beat master?
You know that you're debuffed. You have to do an actual conversion. You're debuffed. You know that you're debuffed.
Nitro
Can't-
gets the hit. This could
Can't
do
get
it.
away with,
Level
like,
3.
you didn't even let, like, I don't know what the ideology is here for not letting the
key
EX
block.
rock at the very
Nitro gets
least.
the hit. This could do it.
Because, like, the EX gets 2 more hits, he would have died.
Level 3.
He's debuffed.
I don't understand. Like, this is literally just like, this is why I tell people that playing on a stage like this is completely different, right? It's completely different than playing on net play, playing casual. He would never miss this in a casual. I promise. He'd never make the decision in casual. But because nerves are on 100, his top 8 a combo breaker, he makes a very rash decision because he's thinking, I just want it to be over. I don't want to risk dropping. And so he goes into level 3 as soon as possible. But it doesn't kill because you're debuffed.
This could do it.
You could have just let the animation rock and you would have been fine. But here we are. We have to play another situation.
I think that's enough.
Is it enough?
He is debuffed.
Call it.
And there's no more nerve-wracking situation than when you think your opponent is going to die and they don't die. So now you have to get back in the game because in your mind you're like, okay, it's over. I made it through. You breathe a sigh of relief. Now you have to go back into you know, you're dialed in. You have to be ready for these crazy ass situations because you're 1 hit away from dying yourself as well.
Debuff saved him, yes! Debuff saved him! And Zane is still blocking right now. We're looking for
Wait a
the
second.
armor again.
Oh!
Wait a second. We're pressing some buttons.
Pressure.
Yep, he's dead.
And he's gonna build that 3rd bar, going to extend all the way down into
Level
that
3.
and show him the flick of the wrist. This is all I need.
Zane.
Nitro being tight here to me is really funny.
Flick of the wrist. This is all I need.
Because you did it to yourself, my boy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you did it to yourself. Look at his glasses. You see this? Look at his glasses, bro. I don't feel pain for the guy. Bro, hell no. What the fuck? Why would I feel pain for him? That's my guy, but like, that's your fault.